you need to hear this. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here, and this is my first in a series that I'm calling You Need to Hear This. My plan is to kind of distract you with whatever kind of art I'll be doing as I talk to your inner self, as I secretly do my best to convince you of your value and to give you permission. I feel that I need to do more encouragement of all my fellow artists and crafters in 2022. How many videos will be in this series? It's anyone's guess. I am artist, hear me roar. After all, it is the 20th. Get it? That's a reference to the 1920s. The roaring 20s. So what if our 20s have been less than a party roar and more of an alone type of roar? Yeah. Okay. So, less than perfect. Why don't we go there? Perfection. What is it? Well, its definition is a quality or state of being perfect, a freedom from fault or defect, an unsuppressed degree of accuracy or excellence. Perfect, having no mistakes or flaws. Okay, now we know what it is or what it's supposed to be. Is it attainable? Yeah, I want to know that too. Can perfection be reached? Sure it can, but only in comparison. Okay, for example, a line is perfectly straight when compared to other lines that are wavy, zigzaggy, or even round. That does not mean the line is perfect. It only means it is going in a direction that appears to be perfect for the purpose of the straight line. Okay, let's look at the state of being human. There is no such thing as perfection. We come from a single cell, and that splits into 2, that splits into 4, and so on and so on and so on. During that initial division, maybe there's the issue of the line. Y'all know we've talked about this before. You know, when you cut a piece of paper, there is always the issue of the width of the pencil line. Perhaps it's that way when our cell first divides. This could explain the fact that one side of our body is slightly different from the other, or sometimes even totally different. This does not mean a lack of perfection, but only a difference when it is compared to the other side. To compare anything, we have to have a set of averages and what is usually expected in a situation, or to achieve a specific outcome. Perfection is a judgment, a concept of something or someone being more beautiful, smarter, better fit, more talented, and so on infinitum. Infinity. Yeah, that. Okay, then, than anyone else or anything else. So no, there is no such thing as perfect. There is only a state of being in agreement with all that is in that space, in that moment in time, when it all just seems to fit. Well, perfectly. Okay. Remember, we already know you cannot compare my art to yours or someone else's because our life experience is different. And therefore, your perfection is probably not the same as my perfection anyway. There are times when most will agree that something is perfect. That's because, with all things considered, it all works well together for that particular thing in that particular time. Now that all that's been said, here are some tips to make your art, craft, project perfect. Let's say you have paint or some other medium smeared where you really don't want it and you can't remove it. Try smearing some in another place. One splat could be a mistake, but 3 or more are perfect. That also applies to mistoured papers, bits, lace, really just anything else. What do you know? A perfect tip! Okay, so let's say you want to be perfect, like Rembrandt or Da Vinci. Well, then practice to become better. But take my word for it, you will not be Rembrandt or any other famous or infamous artist because you are not them. Perhaps instead you should practice being the best that you can be in a way that works for you. And that, my dear darlings, is a recipe for perfection. Hey, stay tuned for a photo montage. I so appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you've enjoyed this first in the series of You Need to Hear This. Okay, if there's anything that you're interested in needing encouragement with or questions about, I'll be happy to possibly overthink it for you. Thanks for watching and happy artin', y'all.